All right, we are going to talk a little bit about the timing of an AT50 and how the micro switch works in conjunction with the set collar, which dictates how far the throwing arm comes in every cycle. This machine, we have it pretty perfectly timed. We consider a trap to be in good time when the throwing arm and the back of the throwing arm is about flush with this case underneath here. So we'll just cock the trap real quick to kind of show that. It's in the decocked or semi-decocked position right now. Go ahead and put the toggle switch up to cock it. And you can kind of see the throwing arm here about flush with the case directly underneath it. So that's just about perfect, or it could come in just a touch, but if you get it in too far here, then the back of the throwing arm may actually catch the target and it can't drop cleanly. So, but this is just about perfect. So when the trap is cocked and you can kind of see approximately the roller ball is on the left edge of the flat on the set collar. Be very careful when the trap is cocked. It's ready to fire, and if the power is hooked up and if you touch this micro switch, you can make it fire. So again, you just got to be really safe. But so we're going to go ahead and decock it now. So I'm going to put the toggle switch down and then fire it. And I'm going to unhook the battery just to be safe so I can kind of go up there. You know, it's both disconnected. So as you can kind of see now in the semi-decocked position, the roller ball here, it's just on the edge of the curved portion of the set collar here. And when the roller ball rolls up onto the edge here, what that does is actually it pushes in on the switch. So right now, if I were to push in, it's not clicking or engaging because it's already pushed in and engaged. If I'm going to adjust the timing, after I put the toggle switch down, here I'm just going to go through that step here. So put the battery back on, toggle switch down and bump it so it fires and releases. Unhook the battery. If I was going to set the timing, I need to adjust it. I would now push the throwing arm in. So I put my right hand here so it's out of the way just to be safe. Use my left hand here, put even pressure and set it to about where I want it. Perfect. And at that point, I would adjust the collar. So now you can see we're in the cocked position here. I've got my battery completely unhooked, so it's safe. I can actually touch this micro switch or adjust it. But if I click in on it now, see it actually clicks, which means it's off. So this is out, so it's clicked off. That means there's no power going to the motor right now. That's what should happen at the cock position because it's in a holding pattern waiting for you to fire it with the black push button on the back or the handheld trigger or wireless or whatever you're using. So I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to decock it and I'm going to move this switch. Unhook the battery, of course, to be safe. Now I'm going to loosen the set screw here. I'm going to turn this switch and I'm going to put it on the flat part here just for an example. So this machine, so right now in the decock position, the roller ball is on the flat portion of the collar here, and again the battery's unhooked so I can do this, but I can push in on this. You can actually hear everything click right now, so it's clicking, which means the switch is clicked off. So if I were ready to use this machine, I would go here and put the toggle switch up to send the signal to this micro switch, but nothing is going to happen because the roller is on the flat portion here and it's kicked off. So even if the toggle switch is up sending the signal here, nothing's going to happen because the switch is kicked off. So I can hear it clicking. That's my sign there. So I can hook up the battery just to kind of illustrate this. So the trap is decocked and I want to throw it. I put the switch up. Nothing happens because the switch is off. So again, that the roller ball has to be on the curved portion of the set collar when the trap is decocked, so that when you flick the switch up, it makes that last movement into the cocked position. So everything's still unhooked, decocked. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab my tool here and try to put it back approximately where I had it, which was just on the corner here. I'm going to go a little bit further to illustrate what happens if I go maybe too far, and we'll see how it goes. All right, put the battery back up, put the toggle up, And see, I've gone too far. It's too hot. The arm is in there. If a clay tried to fall, it would land on the arm there, and it would catch that clay. It wouldn't let it land clean. So I gotta back off the timing here. So I'm gonna put the switch down, fire it. So to back off the timing,
Disconnect.
I got the battery unhooked now. Disconnected that. To back off the timing, I need to rotate this counterclockwise. I'm going to move it this way, and I'm going to keep it on the curved portion, but I'm going to be really, really close to the edge there. Or I'll try it there. And just again, battery's unhooked and everything, so I can double check, but this should not be clicking now, because when I put the toggle switch up, that means the switch is engaged, so it's going to move the throwing arm into the cock position. So now let's hook up the battery. Toggle switch up. It's still too far. One thing I can do too here, when I adjust the timing, if you want to make a pretty small adjustment, you could actually just take a flathead screwdriver here, and I could bend this ever so slightly back. I just put this in behind the switch, and I bent it back a little bit towards the front of the machine. So let's see what kind of an impact that has. And then I'm going to cock it. So we're pretty darn close. It could come back just a little bit, but in general, so now we are in the cock position. So the roller ball is on the flat portion of that, waiting for you to fire it, which means if it is in the cock position, but because it's on the flat, the roller ball lever, it disengages. And so there's no signal going to the motor. That's why it's not firing right now. That's why it's holding. If I were to push the button here when I fire it, it just resets every time. I put this switch down, fire it. I'm right on the edge here. Maybe I'll try to make one more, just fine tune here, and go a little bit more this way. Very, very small adjustments can make quite a difference. And that looks just about perfect. But so again, in the decock position, if this set collar was turned to where the roller was on that flat portion somewhere, when you put the toggle switch up, nothing's going to happen. It won't go into that cock position because the switch is disengaged. Here it is already engaged. So when I put the toggle switch up, it's going to cock until it rolls up onto that flat, until it disengages. Hope this helps. Thank you.